It's Mary Z's Recipes here. I'm here to host a live stream. So, people, come join in, so that we have a wonderful session together. This is a worthy, this is a worthy live stream to attend. So, if you have the time, if you have some spare minutes, you come over and we can have a wonderful time together. My name is Mary Z. Easy, as in easy. Mary Z. Easy recipes. And recipes, those how we can cook, how we can prepare food. So, my name is Mary Z. Easy Recipes. And tonight, we like 10 minutes to 9 where I am tonight. It's nearly night now, and we know after midnight it will be morning. So we only have how many hours to go? We only have 3.5 hours. No, even less than that. Nearly three. Soon it will be 9 o'clock. So nearly 3 hours left to go to midnight. So today is a Sunday, blessed Sunday, and I'm happy to have this chance to host a live stream. Today is the Sunday, 21st of December, and we know we are just how many days to go. We are counting down, countdown. We are doing a countdown to Christmas. Christmas this year is on a Thursday, and so we only have from today. We can't count Sunday now, so we can only count Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's it. Then fourth day is Christmas. So I'm really happy to host this live stream. We have a guest coming in. That is Gabby, the cinnamon fan. Oh, that is a lovely name, Gabby. Welcome to the live stream. And I like your name. It's really beautiful. And Gabby is saying, hi there. And Gabby is saying, you can call me Gabby. I have already done. I really guessed that, oh, Gabby should be called Gabby. Oh, that's really amazing. So welcome everybody to the live stream. It's a lovely day. It's a beautiful day. And we love Sundays. Sundays are days to chill down. We are chilling. And I know most people are about to take their holidays for the festive season, which is amazing and beautiful. We can't wait for Thursday to come, because Thursday is the main day and it's the day of fun for most people who love to celebrate Christmas. So we are happy today, happy. Especially me, I'm really happy because I'm just saying I'm counting down to Thursday, so that we can relax and enjoy with family and friends. It's a time, I'm happy because we have these times, to enjoy. So Gabby is saying, you can call me Gabby. And Gabby is saying, what are you going to do for Christmas? Oh, Christmas, I'm the chef. So I'll be like cooking a little bit of things here and there. And then after cooking, I love to watch the Christmas movies. So I'll be watching a bit of Christmas movies because I love those movies because they always like live happily ever after. So I love such films which are like have a positive end. So I love watching Christmas movies, and they're always very entertaining. And Gabby says, I love watching Christmas movies. Oh, she does as well. So we are going to be happy watching the Christmas movies. And maybe, what else can we do? We'll be waiting for Boxing Day. Maybe Boxing Day will be another fun day again, because I'll just be indoors. We just be in this, inside the walls of the house. Oh, we have another guest coming in. That is Zizwani Kapea. Hello, Zizwani Kapea. How are you this evening? And I hope everything is good with you. Just like me, At the moment, I cannot complain. Everything is just super. It is super. I cannot complain. But you know what? I always say, besides the super like life or super evening, there are always challenges. But we don't have to concentrate on challenges. Challenges are part of us. All we do is sometimes we just say, oh, that challenge. And just say, okay, can I not be happy because of a challenge? So we always try to find ways around the challenge and then be happy. And Zizwani Kapea is saying, hi, Mary. Hi, Zizani. How are you? And how was your day today on a Sunday? And we also have Kalam Bird. Hello, Kalam. Yeah, it's Kalam. Kalam Bird. Hello. Welcome to my live stream. I'm really happy. And I feel privileged to have guests. I've heard about some fairy tales where the king prepared a banquet, and there will be lots and lots of food and so on. And when the king's men went out to call the people to come and enjoy the banquet, they said, oh, we are busy. Someone said, oh, I have to tend to the children. Someone said, oh, I need to tend to my animals. And someone said, oh, I need to see if I can fix that door. So at the end, the king did not receive any guests for the beautiful banquet. So when you receive guests, whatever you are hosting, you need to be grateful. Because otherwise people would say, oh, I need to prepare the Christmas tree. Oh, I need to upload a video. So we are happy. We also have Achi. Hello, Achi Abbots. How are you, Achi Abbots? I am very happy to have you in the live stream. Everybody, feel free to join in the live stream. We need us to be happy together. So feel free. And as you come in, guys, just tap the you know where to tap. If you tap the screen, it will just explode into some what are called likes. So just remember to tap the screen. We also have Joswin. Hello, Joswin. Joswin is saying hello, and I'm returning the greetings by saying hello, Joswin. How are you doing? And how was your Sunday? I hope you had a wonderful day. And guys, I ask for you to do like 3 things. You can tap, and then when you decide, oh, I think we will love to go and watch the videos, you can always subscribe. And then you said, oh, I wish we could, what else could we do? We could tell this lady where we are connecting from. You are also free to tell us where you're connecting from. And Zahara, oh, hello, Zara, what a beautiful name. Hello, Zara. Zara Akbari is saying, how many were beautiful, the way beautiful, and anyone else? Oh, thank you for the compliments. I greet you with open arms, and I welcome you to the live stream. Feel free to join in. It's a live stream. And the lady is called Mary Z is Recipes. And she's here just to greet the people, to enjoy the night. It's only about 2 hours when, the session is not that long. Otherwise, I would have done like 11 hours. So I'm going just to do 2 hours. So feel free to join in and feel free to be happy and feel free to participate. Tell us where you are connecting from, a city near you, because I'm very good with cities. If you say you're connecting from Rome, I'll know, oh, that's Italy. If you say you're connecting from Lisbon, I'll know that's Portugal. So I'm really good with the capital cities. So if you like, it's not like compulsory. If you like, just tell us where you're connecting from, and I'll be so happy to hear that. So guys, feel free to be in the live stream and to join in. We are going to have a beautiful topic today because as for now, I think since I started in October, I'm just trying to do some topics, because I just love to talk, just to be chirping like a bird, chirping like a bird. So feel free to join in and feel free to wait for the topic. Soon it's going to come. And Zizwani Kapea says, I'm going to give you a like. Wow, what more can I ask for? When the guests bring presents like this, I feel so honored and happy. Thank you so much, Zizwani Kapeya. You are so generous and you are very kind. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I really appreciate Zizwani. If you can tell me, if do you have a channel? If you do, just say yes. You know, if you say yes, I will know. Oh, we are talking about the channel. So if you have a channel, just type yes. If you don't have, just type no so that I know. But otherwise, I'm really grateful for your presence and for giving me a like. We have 5 likes already. Oh my God. Before even the night falls, we have already harvested 5 likes. That's incredible. I have never done that before. This is the quickest likes I've ever, got. So I'm really happy and grateful for that. So those is with channels, you can just type yes so that I know that these are colleagues, you know what we mean by colleagues. We can always visit each other because when you have a YouTube channel, you never solitary. You never should stay in solitude. You should always try. You try to get as many friends as you can. Just like I'm doing today. I'm just going to try and get as many. Oh, Zizgani Kapia says, I'm from Zambia, Lusaka, and Zambia is the biggest waterfall in the world. Oh, I know. Isn't that Victoria Falls? It's Victoria Falls. It's a beautiful. I've seen Victoria Falls on pictures, on photographs, and so on. It is amazing. It just flows, I think, on the Zambezi River, and that river borders a country called Zambia and a country called Zimbabwe. And I think they said you share the falls. I don't really know that, but I think you share part of the falls with a country called Zimbabwe. And otherwise, those are countries in the southern part of Africa. Africa, the continent. And Zambia's capital city is Lusaka, like Zizani has said. Welcome, Zizani, all the way from Lusaka. I feel very happy to have you in the live stream. Yeah, so when do you check out on me? Next time when you see this lady again, because I'm coming again and again, you can always, say hi. And this one said, no, I don't have a channel. Oh, doesn't matter. Yeah, we can't all have channels. Remember, there are about 8 billion people in this mother planet, in on this earth. 8 billion. From North America, South America, to go to Europe, you go to Asia, you go to Australia and New Zealand, you go to, which one did I mention? Europe, Asia, South America, what else? Africa. I didn't mention Africa. So imagine we are 8 billion. A billion is not something to joke about. If you hear that someone is like £1 billion, you must like shake. You must like shiver. If somebody you hear that someone is like £1 billion or $1 billion, you must shiver because it's a lot. You won't finish counting. So imagine the population of the world is around 8 billion people. The reason I'm talking about the population is that, yeah, we are 8 billion people, and not all of us, can come to join, the YouTube channel. Some of them are still like, the little ones, and some of them are, busy doing work because they're people who are at work, day and night. People are doing night shifts, and people are doing long days, and people are doing all sorts of work. I used to do some night shifts myself, so I know how it goes. So people are busy out there. So those who manage to come to our live stream, we must, appreciate them. It is not easy to be, to always attend a live stream, but people try. Oh, we have another guest coming here. That is Ahaya Raman. Hello, Ahaya. I like your name. It is really a pretty sort of name. Is it AHY? AHY Ahaya. Ahayan Raman. Oh, lovely name. Lovely name. Thanks for attending my live stream. I really appreciate everyone who has so far, managed to come and greet us here. And Ahaya is saying hello, and I say to him as well, hello, how are you doing? We had the glorious Adeline Ngosabinamana saying, hello, hello, Gloris. How are you, Gloris? It's lovely to have you here in the live stream. Feel free to tell us where you are joining from, if you don't mind, because it's always lovely to know where people are joining from. And like Zizwani is saying, yes, it's Victoria Falls. I have gone there 2 times. Wow, you have been there. Lucky you to see the mighty Victoria Falls. Oh, those are mighty falls. I've just seen them on TV, and I've just seen them, like I said, on photographs and on pictures. They are mighty Victoria Falls. They say when the falls fall onto that gorge, it falls onto the gorge. The water will fall onto a gorge. And when it falls onto that gorge, it will like splash. It's like it's raining at that point, of the Victoria Falls. They are amazing. They are amazing. So Zizwani say, yes, it's Victoria Falls. I've gone there 2 times, and yes, Zambia, and share it with Zimbabwe. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, so those falls are really, they are popular. I don't know. I think many people have heard about Victoria Falls because it's one of the wonders. When something is a wonder, it is really a wonder. A wonder, like what else? The wonder, like the Grand Canyon in America, those are wonders as well. And what else? The Everest, we should never forget about Mount Everest. It's a wonder. And also the longest river, the Nile River, is a wonder as well. And what else? They say a fresh lake, a lake with fresh water, Lake Victoria. We also should know about that one. What else? I'm forgetting the other wonders. There are lots of wonders. And yeah, Everest, of course, is one of them. And what else? Yeah, there are lots. And yeah, there are wonders. Even the um what else? There are some other mountains I'm forgetting. And there's also this big river called did I say the Mississippi? I think I've said that one. It's also something to marvel at. Wonders of the world are really precious and great for us to marvel, to enjoy them, and when you have chance to visit and see, and see them. We also have Yasmin. Yasmin is saying hi. Hello, Yasmin. Lovely to have you in the live stream. Feel free to join in, and I greet you with the open arms, and I welcome you to the live stream. I'm really happy that you are here together with others. So, guys, as you come in, just tap that screen. Tap the screen to show that you are here. It's just a way of appreciating, the time we are having together. And I feel so happy if you do that. So I can start by, I'm now going into the main. We want to go into the main subject. So before I go into the main subject, those who are new, I just give another quick introduction. My name is Mary Z is Recipes. I have a YouTube channel, and I haven't got, people say your niche. I haven't got a niche yet because I'm still trying to see which one is my niche. So I am a lady who has like 4 hobbies. I like cooking, I like gardening, I like music and watching films, and sometimes I like selling. I do. Yes, and look what Zizani is saying. He said, yes, the wonders of the world. And Zizani said, the big bed. Oh, we mustn't forget it. And this one is a man-made one, and it is awesome. It's really beautiful. That's the big clock, the big clock in London. So, yeah, those are some of the things we should marvel at and we should appreciate. And when you have the chance to visit London, you can always go to the center of London, and you see the Big Ben, and you see, the London Bridge, just to name a few. and you can visit the palaces, when you come to London. So we also have Siddiqui Butta. Siddiqui Butta, she said, she, I don't know what she's saying. I can't understand that Siddiqui. Maybe if you can explain further, I cannot understand what you're saying. So otherwise, I'm just saying thank you for coming to the live stream and feel free to join in. We are just doing the positives every day and each and every time. Thank you, Zizwani, for telling us about the big band, that clock. So today we are really happy. And I was saying, oh, why shouldn't we talk about, and Zizwani Kapea said, can I invite my brother? Oh, yeah, everyone is free to, as long as, they are like, you know, usually they say if you are not like children, we children are not, expected to be here, but as for like adults, So Zizwani Kapea is saying, okay, he does understand, which is awesome. So today I was just saying I need to introduce again this session by, I'm saying I like cooking, gardening, and I do like music and films. Like during Christmas, I'll be watching the family movies. Family movies, I like them because they just have a happily ever after ending. And I also like to listen to music. And music I listen to. I listen to the divas, the women divas. I listen to Celine Dion. I listen to Mariah Carey. I listen to Whitney Houston. Those are my top ones. Then, of course, if the music is good from other artists, I can also always listen again to reggae, to R&B, and to what else? Those good sounds. I can listen to any sound. So let's go to the weather. The weather is part of us. I always like to talk about the weather. So today when I woke up, I was really like surprised. Oh, it's still raining. There were showers, non-stop showers. From morning up to this time of the evening, we were having showers. But it was okay. It was perfect. You could go out and do some shopping because like yesterday I went into town. The town was really packed. You know what you mean by packed. When a town is packed, it means, the shops, everyone is flowing into a shop and everyone is coming out of a shop. And then other people are flowing into the same shop and other people are coming out of the same shop, like flowing, So the town was really packed and people were really happy and doing their last minute festive shopping, which is incredible. Yeah, I love to see people happy and people doing their own business and enjoying the time. So that was the case yesterday because today I didn't go to the city. I was just doing one or two things in the house. And Manza, hello Manza Kapea, hello. Manza Kapea is the brother to Zizwani. And Manza Kapea is saying, hi, Zizwani invited me. Oh, that was good of Zizwani. So feel free to join in and be happy. And I know are you also from Zambia? If you don't mind me asking. So we are happy to have many guests joining us in this live stream. Yeah, Mansa said, yes, he's from Zambia. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, it's a beautiful country. I love all the countries of this mother planet. Every country is beautiful in its own way. It's beautiful in its own way. And most countries are trying, because we want them to try, especially me. I want these countries to try and just save the people in the right way, like having good infrastructure, good everything. We love that. And Manzakapia saying, and I have also gone to Victoria Falls 2 times. Wow, you guys, you are having a great time. Victoria Falls is amazing, as I've already said. And yeah, it is just amazing. I don't know what really happened to have that gorge. There's a gorge where the water will like be flowing along the Zambezi River. So when it reaches that particular, the particular place, then the water will just fall into the gorge. Yeah, that's the Victoria Falls. That's why it's called Falls. The water will fall into that gorge, and it's spectacular. It is stunning. It is a wonder. That's why it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. So we are happy. And Susanne is saying, "You're welcome, Mary." So I was saying here the weather, it was raining and just indoors, but fine. We love the weather. We love when it is like, it's just weather, when it's not challenging. We love that. It was just weather, the normal weather. Oh, we have another guest coming here. That's Katie's Creates 9906. He's saying, "Hello, please. Can I have a shout out? My name is Jessica." Hello, Jessica. How are you? And it is lovely to have you here, Jessica. Feel free to join in. And Jessica, can you tell us, do you have a channel? If you have a channel, then we all can always check out on you, because that's what we do here. We always try to check out on those people with channels, and because when you have a channel, you need other people to support you, and then you grow. And Manza Kapia said, "I went with Zizani to Victoria Falls. Oh, you guys, you had a lovely time. I can imagine. Yeah, that is really a privilege to go and see the wonders of the world. You never know. Maybe one day I might say, "Oh, I have, you need money, to travel. So maybe one day when I have money, I might just like fly to see Victoria Falls, and it will be a pleasure to do that." So that was the weather today. The temperatures here are ranging like 9 degrees, and we have drizzle. Like it has been like 2 weeks now. We've been having drizzle, and the temperatures ranging from 9 degrees Celsius to about 13, and they go down again. It's like, it's like what do you call that type of graph, which is like it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, such type of a graph. So we also have Abimaden. Hello, Abimaden. Abimaden is saying hi, and I also say hi to him. How are you, Abimaden? I hope everything is good with you. And Zizwani Kape say, "Where do you live?" I am in the UK at the moment. So that's where the temperatures, because it's winter time this time, and Christmas will be cool. We don't know whether it's going to snow, but I was just listening, like active listening to the weather. I didn't hear anything about snow today. I will keep on checking if there's going to be any snow, but otherwise it's just drizzle and like cold, and it's like going up and down, the temperatures. So that's how it is happening here. So we are really happy today. It's another beautiful day with beautiful people. And those in the chat, can you tell us your hobbies if you don't mind? Because I always ask people about their hobbies. And Zizwani Kapea saying, "It's raining hard here in Zambia. There is lightning." Oh my goodness. You have lightning as well there. Yeah, lightning does occur when it rains, especially in tropical, you have called them tropical areas, tropical regions, because they are really because the sun shines and they are hot areas. So I don't know the connection between the heat of the sun and the formation of the lightning and the thunderstorms. They have something to do with each other. So that's why you receive lightning there. Lightning is really scary, is really, it's not my cup of tea. I don't really, like when it strikes, the light strikes, then there's thunder, it just scares me. But what can we do? That's nature. We have no control over lightning and thunder. It happens, and we're just seeing it flashing, and we hear the thunder. Then the storm, maybe especially during a storm, Yeah, that's what happens. It happens, yeah, it happens all over the world. Lightning happens all over the world. But it seems like in like equatorial regions, maybe there is more rampant there as compared to temperate regions. Yeah. So that's what nature is like, and we like nature and we uphold nature. And yeah, the only thing we have to do with nature is just to know. We need to know what's happening. Why is it like, it's raining? We need to know to understand why it rains too much. Why the sun is hot in certain areas and not hot in other areas, So that's our duty, to just learn about it. But we don't have any control over that. Is this one saying, oh, and my hobbies is football. Oh, you love football. Wow, that's really good to hear. So he says, oh, my hobbies is football. I'm really good. My coach said I was captain. Oh dear, you are even captain. So you are good at. Do you are you good at dribbling or good at doing the penalty shoot out, or what else do I know about football? Dribbling, penalty, kicking, for the penalty, or taking the corner kick. Yeah, taking the corner kick. Or are you a midfielder? Or are you a striker? Or are you the goalkeeper? Or are you the defender? So yeah, football is interesting. Sometimes when I have time, I do watch the big teams. I do watch them. Emily T says, hello, my name is Emily. Hello, Emily T. It's nice to have you here, Emily T. Feel free to join in the live stream. You are welcome. And so Emily is here, and we have greeted her. And this is Lanika Pair says, I am a striker. Wow, so you are the first one, because to be a striker, you need to have speed. It's like when you get the ball, what do? You need to dribble, and then you kick it into the goal. That's it. So a striker is need to have speed. Emily T said, do you play Roblox? Oh, Roblox. I don't have the time, to do at the moment I get so busy, with other things. So I haven't got the chance to play Roblox. Maybe another time I might play Roblox. And Zizani Kapia said, and I'm fast. Oh, so you are really good at football. That's the thing. If you have speed and you have stamina, and what else? Speed, stamina, and your leg. The leg work, the legs. The dribbling. The dribbling art is the one which is also awesome. If you can do that, then of course you will make your team to win. And Suzanne Capel said, and I'm fast. Yeah, that's what we need when we watch these players playing football. We want to see the speed. We want to see the ball control. Ball control. If your team member kicks the ball to you, you should be able to stop it and to control the ball. We call it ball control. Then after ball control, your eyes are just working. You see, you are just like having a judgment. Should I kick it left or right? So your left and right should be working so that you can pass it to the left or to the right or forward. That's what makes football interesting. Those skills. It's all about skills. Ball control, dribbling, and the shooting itself, and what else? Yeah, and taking the corner kicks. Corner kicks are amazing because you can just from the corner you can just kick it from the corner and it just goes only a 30 degree, you sort of time 30 degrees, and you just go to the corner of the post and it goes in maybe a 20 degree, like an angle, the angle, the acute angle. If you kick it from there, then you let it curve a little bit and then it goes into the goal post. then you score, I love football because it is really amazing. And Susanne Kapia said, do you know Usain? Of course, I know Usain Bolt. He's the one who used to do the 100 meters, from all the way from Jamaica. So I know him. Everybody, I think most people know him. These like high performers, they are sort of called like role models. They become role models. So if people are like practicing to do 100 meters, they always say, oh, I need to copy or to do what Usain Bolt used to do. So you just maybe watch him, and then maybe you watch how he used to take off. The takeoff from the line, is really important when you're doing athletics, 100 meters. When you set there, they said on your marks, when you mark the point, then after that, when the referee blows the thing, then you set off. The set off will determine, whether you're going to make it to be the winner. Yeah, the winner. So this one is do you know a lot of football? Are you the only girl that I know? No, because I used to watch football. I used to be a fan of football, but due to other commitments, I sort of lagged behind the teams and so on. But otherwise, I really know how these guys play, and I've watched people like the winners of the World Cup and so on playing. Of course, the World Cup final, we did watch it and so on. So I have a glimpse of ideas of how this game is played, football is played. Yeah, but of course, I love the strikers, and the strikers, even the goalkeeper. He needs to be like alert, Yeah, so that's football. I think I'll do next time. I think football. I'm going to explain about a football game. The next time I do a live stream, I'm going to choose football as one of my topics. Yeah, I'll do football. So let me note it down because I really love it. So football will be one of my topics in the coming weeks. I'll be talking about football. So today, as one said, sorry, didn't finish my sentence. Oh, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter really. So we are now going to our topic today. Susanne Kapia said, you are the only girl that I have asked to do you know football? And yes, a lot of information. Yes, I have a little bit of like idea how football is played. That's why I'm saying next time, maybe I can do it. Maybe tomorrow. Why not tomorrow? If tomorrow I happen to come here, I'm going to have football as my topic tomorrow. I think, I'll have football. I haven't done football as a topic. So I'll do it tomorrow. So tomorrow, guys, if I don't have any other commitments, it's Christmas time and it's time to do one or two things. If I have time to come back to the live stream, I'm going to be talking about football. And I'll be talking about football and just explaining what I know about football. Yeah. That is tomorrow, so keep in touch tomorrow. Tomorrow is football day. Tomorrow, Tuesday, football before we go into Christmas. Because you never know. Christmas day, I might be busy like cooking and doing the dishes and so on. So today, another day today. We are now jumping into our topic for today. The topic said it's all about a family, a family. We need to know what a family is. People always say, oh, that's my family. And then you say, oh, that one is my family. Oh, don't touch my family. That's my family. People love families, So we need to understand what a family is. I always say, these topics I choose to talk about on my live stream. I love to talk about things which people know already, because it is people will just be listening because they know the things already. So all these things I'm talking about, they are things which people know. I'm not talking about like, oh, how a spaceship is made, because not most people know how a spaceship is made, but a few know. But these topics of mine, they are like universal. If something is universal, it means it's, most of people in the universe know about it. So my topic today is universal. It means most people already know about this topic. So mine is just to chit chat, and just to maybe what to just like a reminder. It's just a reminder, of things which you know. It's like when you a reminder means, for example, when you do some laundry and you don't have a dryer in your house, usually when it's summertime, you can air them outdoors. And then when you line them outdoors to dry, sometimes you'll be in the house chatting with your family, maybe it's already like 10 o'clock in the night. The clothes are still out there. Then one of the members said, oh, you know what? You still have laundry outside. They say, oh my God, I had forgotten that I have laundry outside. Then you rush to get the clothes into the house. So that's a reminder. So this topic today is just a reminder. So our topic is about families. Families are like belonging. They like to be together. Like if you've seen my thumbnail, there are some little birds there. They're just sitting on a branch. Those little birds. They're just showing us they are together, and they're the same type of birds. So that's what a family is like. So the definition of a family is, it is a social unit. According to the psychologists, to those who study human behavior, they say a family is a social unit who share the same values. They share the same lives, they share the same values and commitments. That's a family. Oh, we have it. Manza said, me too. Yeah. He said he has subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm really happy and thankful. So we're talking about a family today. It's like a unit, a unit, something close together, and they share the same lives, they share the same values and commitment. And they go on to say, a family has a sense of belonging, like, oh, this is my mom, this is my father, this is my sister, this is my brother, this is my sibling. So there's a sense of belonging, you belong together, and they are related by blood. They are related by, if the because from a marriage, they are related by blood and partnership from the parents. So that's a family. And sometimes people will say, oh, they can describe a family unit as a nucleus. A nucleus is that, when you talk about the cells in our bodies, the cells in our bodies have like the cells have like a nucleus in the center. So that's why people describe families as like a nuclear family, meaning it's just a component together, joined together. So this nucleus family means it's a word used for a common family. So a common family is the traditional family where there are two parents. The parents, maybe they are married or they are just like partners. You can be partners or you can be married. And these two parents or partners have dependent children, in one household. So in this definition, we are not including like the step family, the step family members. Here it's just a nucleus family with two parents and dependent children. So that's a family according to the people who who study like human behavior, psychologists, and so on. That's what they say about families. So that's our topic today. We are talking about families today, and we are going to describe what happens in families. The psychologists and those who study families, they say that families have values, a value. For example, I can say, um, um when you a value, for example, uh, when you are at work, there are some values you are expected to possess. For example, when you're at work, you must respect each other, and work as a team. Those are values. But families have many, many values. So let's look at these values from families. What do families do? And what are families expected to do? That's the values we are going to talk about today. So the first value is respect. Respect. So families should have respect, among them. The mother should have respect for all the members of the family. The father should have respect for all the members of the family. The children should have respect for all the members of this family. They should respect their siblings, their mother, their father. Like when you wake up, for example, if you have respect, you can say, "Oh, good morning, Dad. Good morning, Mom. Oh, Mom, are you going to work today? Oh, you seem to be exhausted today. What's happening, Mom? Oh, Mom, can I make you a cup of tea? Oh, Daddy, oh, you just come from work. Hello, how was work? And what do you want to eat today, Daddy?" And Daddy will say, "Oh, don't mind. I just want to make myself maybe a jagged potato, or I just want to make myself maybe I have brought some chicken breast there, so I don't mind. I'm feeling really, really energetic today." Even the daddy will, after work, will just prepare a meal for the family. So a family should have respect for one another. And Zizani says, a family is a group of people who love. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, you are very correct. So that's one of the values of a family. They should have a love amongst them. And about honesty, family members, a group of family members, this traditional type of family, mother, father, and children, they should have a they should be honest to each other. For example, if maybe one of the children, um, was delayed, maybe at doing a after school sport, or maybe on his way home, the friend said, "Oh, come, I want to show you something which my father bought for me." And then this family member, goes to see his friend before coming home. So when he gets home, he must be honest. He say, "Oh, what I did after work, or after school, or after I dropped off the bus, I just passed I passed through John's house because he wanted to show me his new game, or I wanted to see or maybe if it's like uh, adults, they can say, "Oh, I just wanted to see, there's a newborn baby at this house, at our friend's house. So I just wanted to see the newborn baby." Just to be honest, honest to each other. And that makes the family, have good values. And another thing, empathy. There's something called empathy. When it's a family, family members should empathize with one another. For example, if one of the family members is not feeling well, so the other family members, the mother, the father, the other children, they should, if someone is like admitted into hospital, oh, our sister is admitted. You see them going to the hospital, getting some fruits and so on, to see their sibling, to see, their family, member, their family member. So that's empathy, feeling for each other. And this is when he said, every day after my parents come home, I make some. Oh, that's what we are saying. You are a very good, yeah, that's caring for each other, yeah, helping the parents and so on. And responsibility, like what Zane said, helping each other, responsibility, like when you wake up, especially maybe you want to rush to school, make sure, or you want to rush to work, make sure you wake up early, make your bed, don't let mom make bed every day she makes your bed, or father, makes your bed. Try to do it on yourself, even dad, when he wakes up, you can also make the bed, and give mom a rest, so share responsibilities. And when it comes to like paying the bills, everyone chips in. If there are children working, they say, "Oh, mommy, today I want to give you, this money. You can add on to the money for your fuel for the car and so on." Responsibilities, and everyone chips in. Everyone helps each other. So this one says just to help him. Yeah, that is very good. Just very good to help each other. And also, open communication is also a good value. Open communication, just say, "Oh, mommy, I think I'm not doing that job I am in. I don't think I want to go on in that job." Then you give your reasons to your parents, or you tell your brother, or you tell your sister, "Oh, I need to change the job because I feel I did, with this degree I have, I need another challenging job." So open communication. And you should also be kind to each other, kind to each other. Uh, kind to your mommy, kind to your father, kind to your sister, kind to your brother, kindness, and you also should be like, have accountability, For example, let's say you are given the responsibility of going to pay for the bills. Maybe your wife gives you money to pay for the gas bills. Then when you pay, just say, "Oh, look, I've just paid for the gas bill." Show that you have done it, that is accountability. Then you can say, "Oh, the 500 pounds you gave me, I paid 300 for the gas bill, and I had to go I had to take my car for MOT. So I used the 300 for the gas, and I took 200 for MOT." And when you tell your partner or your wife what you have done with her money, she will be happy because it's accountability. Do not hide. Don't say, "Oh, I paid gas, that's it." Just tell everything you've done with the money. And that is a sign of being of loyalty. Your loyalty it has some sort of accountability in it. And Zezani said, empathy is putting people in your shoes or heart. Yeah, or in your heart. Yeah, you said, okay, imagine maybe um, a member of your family is sick. Maybe she has maybe a sore throat. So what you do is you just said, "Oh my God, she's not eating, she's not drinking." So you just imagine that pain that is on your body. So you feel the pain, when you feel someone's pain, that is what you call empathy, You then after that you will develop a sense of kindness and a sense of of trying to help the person, because you have put yourself in their shoes. That's what Suzanne is saying, which is exactly what we mean by empathy. So the other thing is appreciating. When a member of the family does well, everyone should appreciate them. Like, "Oh, you bought daddy a car. Wow, you are such a nice, a nice brother. You bought money, a computer, or you bought daddy a laptop, Daddy bought John, you know, maybe a phone, So everyone should appreciate. We shouldn't feel like, oh, I shouldn't, the daddy should have bought that for me. Why not me? Don't don't say why not me. If you feel why not me, go and talk to daddy and say, Daddy, since last month you bought a laptop for John, so on Christmas Day or in January, since I'm going to start my new college, can you please buy me a similar laptop like Johnny's? So don't say why not me. You just talk to your parents, talk to your brothers, talk to your sisters, and come to an agreement. That's appreciation. And it also has a sense of being supportive. Being supportive is a very good value. All these I'm talking about are values. Supportive. You should be supportive to your mother, to your father, to any members or any member of your family. Supportive. What can you do? Imagine your brother or sister is in year 6, and they are like, they are like struggling with like some maths, some sums, maybe some English grammar, and so on. So a supportive member of the family would say, oh, let me go to like maybe a bookshop like W.H. Smith. There's a bookshop called W.H. Smith. You can go there and say, oh, my brother is struggling with calculating areas of triangles and areas of other shapes. So let me pass through that shop and look for a book with lots of practice exercises for that topic, or maybe for the maths in general. Then you buy the book for them and say, oh, I found a book. You come home and say, oh, you know what, Peter, I found this book. I think this book will help you. And then you start doing maybe first chapter with Peter. You then say, oh, just do 2 psalms, so you don't have to push them too much. Just do the first day she can just do 3 psalms. Then as they go on, like enjoying the psalms, then you keep on, trying support them, support. Everybody needs support. I know, people need support. Family members support each other. If someone is going to maybe someone is going to start a job in a faraway town, so you come together say, oh, Sharon is going to start a job maybe in London. It's far away. So what you do is you just help each other to find the accommodation, go online and check how much the accommodation will be. It's not only Sharon who has to do that. Family members should chip in to help Sharon to find accommodation and to, to discuss, oh, so how are you going to connect from where you're going to live to this? Then you will know the network of the transport network. Support each other. It is really a good value to support each other. And the other value is trust. You need to trust each other, like maybe your parents have gone on an emergency visit. Sometimes parents go on emergency visit. Maybe they've gone to visit a sick relative, or they've gone to attend a celebration somewhere. So when when the siblings are left in the house, the siblings, here we're talking of elder, siblings. Then when they're left here, they should make sure that, or before they go to bed, they do what the parents do. Make sure the cooker is switched off. Make sure some of the lights are switched off, and make sure the garage is locked. Make sure the doors are locked. That's trust. Your parents should trust. Oh, my children, they are going to cope. They are going to cope with being alone. Coping with being alone at home, or the sisters are going to cope with being alone at home because they are able to look after themselves. and they're able to do what we always do. That's what the elders will be saying. So those are values. Family values are laws. We can spend the whole night talking about what family members should do, when they are living together, or even when some of them live in another place, But the values will always be there, and we must always abide by these values. And the other value is challenges. When challenges come, what do family members do? I always say there are challenges. Even this psychologist is calling the problems. They call them challenges. So when challenges come amidst the family, what do family members do? We don't want to, it's like we like to see family members, even their challenges, they come together and each one chips in with maybe suggestions. Each one, if it's like a problem which needs to be solved, you can chip in with suggestions. You can chip in with monetary help. You can chip in with your presence. You don't say, oh, my parents are maybe they're in Warsaw, Warsaw. They're in Poland. My parents are in Warsaw, and you are maybe in London or in New York. Oh, that's fine, Zizwani. That's fine. Thanks for coming to the live stream. That's fine. Tomorrow I will have a football session. It will start like 8 o'clock, the same time I started today. Yeah, that's when I will start. Between 8 and 9. That's when I will start. Yeah, thanks so much for coming to the live stream. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Zizani and your brother. Good night. Yeah. So I was talking about challenges. What do we do when what does a family unit do when they are amidst challenges? When they meet challenges, challenges. I always say, as for me, the challenges I meet are countless. I always meet. Bye, Zizwani. Nice to see you, to have you here. So I always say it's like sometimes you can have an hourly challenge. Sometimes you can be in challenges for like 2 hours, or every day there's a challenge, or every week there's a challenge, or every month there's a challenge, or every year there's a challenge. We are always meeting challenges here and there, challenges here and there. So what do we do as a family? We need to, I always talk about maybe have a round table. A round table is so good if you happen to be maybe in the same like area, or you happen to be in the same under the same like building or household. When like all the people are around, you can have a round table, and then you come to you have a dialogue, you have a discussion. Even if the other member is away, you can have the teams meeting on the internet. If one is like in America and you're in Canada, and the one is like in Zambia, you can have a teams. This is a on the platform, on the internet. You can hold a teams meeting, and there's another one again you can hold. I forgot the name. Then you can discuss what is happening. Oh, we have this problem. We were thinking that we need to move house, but so far we found 2 houses. This one is saying, what time is the football live stream? Oh, around 8 o'clock tomorrow. 8 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, I said bye. Yeah. So you can have a Teams. What is that other called? I forgot it. Yeah, something like Teams. Then you can always participate in problem solving. You can always buy this one. You can always participate in problem solving. You come up with suggestions, ideas, you discuss, you rule out, oh, this is not, we shouldn't do this. And you rule out what you can do, you cannot do, what you can do, and you carry out those discussions. Even you can do that on like WhatsApp, those platforms. And this is just a way of coming together to look at challenges, and through discussions and through each one giving their own peace of mind, then you can come with solutions, because challenges are challenges. And challenges, when we have challenges, we should always try. I know there are some challenges which we find it very hard to find solutions, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. We should always try to look for solutions. Yeah. And some of the challenges, sometimes we can't find solutions. So what, that's such is life. But some of the solutions, the challenges, we can try, come together with your families, family members, discuss, and then come to an agreement, and then maybe you see how it can go. So that is how we can come around challenges. That is how we can come around challenges. And the important thing is, as a family, the family um, uh, is like belonging to a unity. So when we are like united like that, you can always help each other to sort of try to solve challenges. You try, and that makes it a bit lighter. When it comes to problems, it makes it a bit lighter. So that's what we should do with challenges. Come together as a family, discuss about it, and you know, and hope to get solutions. And hope to get some solutions. So sometimes a family unit faces problems, challenges here and there. What kind of challenges, if we may just identify some of them? We can identify them as like social challenges, mainly social challenges, like social challenges, maybe like to do with marriages and partners. Sometimes we face challenges in that sector. Sometimes financial challenges, and sometimes we face challenges in monetary things. What else? Sometimes, yeah, job opportunities, or challenges with employment. And sometimes we face challenges to do with employment. And sometimes we face challenges to do with our health, health challenges, monetary challenges, marital, is it marital? Yeah, marital challenges, and economical or financial challenges. So sometimes we do face challenges in those. It doesn't matter if we have those challenges. The thing we are trying to like talk about is just family members to help one another when hard times come around, when challenges come around. We come together, We talk about it, we discuss, and we find the way forward. It doesn't matter if we cannot find a solution, but at least people come together, talk about it, yeah, yeah, and find how to go about it. So that's a very important essence when it comes to a family, you know, a family unit expressing their values and their commitment through helping each other when challenges come about. Yeah, that's why these psychologists say it is a family is a social unit, to do with the social, you know. Social is about communication, how we live, all this is about social. Our health, our welfare, everything to do with the lifestyles. It's like social. So a family is a social unit because it will deal with respect, honesty, empathy, responsibility, open communication, strong bonding, kindness, accountability, all the things which happen in social life. Loyalty, appreciation, supportive, trust and challenges, and going finding ways to deal with challenges. So if a family is a social entity, a social unit who share same lives and values and commitments. Commitment is I will do this. It's like when when um, when at a wedding ceremony, the spouses promise each other that I will do this, I will do this, I will do this. So that's it's like commitment they give to each other. So you must, when you think of families again, like the siblings, the children, the mother, it's like they are forming a commitment. They form a commitment, as a unit, as a social unit. So that's what a family should do, and that's what they do, and that's what the society say when they see a family. When the society sees a family, say, oh, that's a family. Oh, look at them. They they have strong bonds. They are really kind to each other. And one day, the other sibling like got stranded at the station, and with no time, because they were it was like the buses were out of service, because it was late. And the other siblings just went and picked him, from the station. It's sort of like commitment and so on. We have someone coming in the live stream said, hi, this one invited me. He said he wanted to help you very much. Oh, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. 22 underscore BRXTMWNS. Lovely to have you in the live stream. Yeah, thank you to Susani and thank you to you. Oh, you are his cousin. Oh, that's nice to know. So she said, I am Ziswani's cousin. Oh, beautiful. That's awesome. That's really kind of you. So today we are talking about a family, a family, what a family should do, and, the values of families, And the last value we were talking about was finding ways to help each other to overcome challenges. We know that some of the challenges are really some of the challenges can really be difficult, but it doesn't matter as long as you try to come together and to find ways to go around the challenges. That's the best thing a family can do, to their members of the family. So today I have a story which I want to talk about. This story is like it is some a little bit of like teachings in it. This story is a story which is like popular, like nearly, I think nearly the billions, the billion people, in the world. Among the 8 billion people, most of the people know about this story. Some people have taken this story and changed it, to suit their culture, and it has been told in many countries. This is story which I'm going to talk about. And this is story, it's a story. It's like a legendary story. It's like a fairy tale. You know about fairy tales. Like most cultures, they have their stories which they consider to be fairy tales. So this story is also a, a sort of a fairy tale. And I've said people are now telling this story differently in other parts of the world, and it is known worldwide. And this story, like in around the 1950s, it was made into a film show. It was made into a film by Walt Disney. And this story, I think they say, according to where I got the information, I think they said it's now about 1,000 years old, this story. So imagine, this story has come a long way, and it is known like nearly worldwide. And people in other cultures are just like changing it here and there to suit their narrative, to suit their cultures. So this story is about a girl, a girl. So the main character in this story is a girl. And this girl is a special name. If this name starts with C. Do you want to guess? Anyone in the chat wants to guess this story? The story is a girl in it. It's a fairy tale. It is an old story, and it has been told many, many times. People have even made these films, from this fairy tale. Sometimes we think, oh, it's just a fairy tale. These fairy tales we have in books, in many books, like there's a story of Alice in Wonderland. There's like a fairy tale of maybe uh, the Wizard of Oz, and all those stories. Yay, that's very correct. Tutu BRXT said Cinderella. Yeah, that's the story I'm going to tell today. Because the story of Cinderella is something to do with a family. It's when we tell this story, you will obviously, you say, oh, it's about, about the dynamics. We call them dynamics in families. Sometimes there are dynamics in families. They are like, characters here and there, and there are like happenings here and there in a family, and there are dynamics. That's why initially I was talking about values. When we have these values like respect each other, honesty, empathy, responsibility, strong bonds, kindness, accountability, loyalty, appreciation, we will have less like challenges, dynamics in a family. So that's the story. Yeah, BRXT is correct. That's the story I'm going to tell today. The story of Cinderella. So the story goes on like this. In this story is about a girl, of course, called Cinderella. And what happened is that uh, Cinderella, according to, people say it in various versions, because I've said some countries they have their own version. They love this story, and people have just come up with different versions. But it's a story which is all about family dynamics. Zizani said his parents said he can only stay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So this story has some dynamics in it. It has some dynamics in it, and it is centering around a family. So what happened is that There was a girl called Cinderella, and Cinderella was such a beautiful girl. And what happened is that her mother passed away, and when the mother, like passed away, um, the father married another woman. Then that woman, of course, was Cinderella's stepmother. So the stepmother of Cinderella had had two daughters, according to the story. So, um, so Cinderella's mother passed away. The father married another woman, and the woman had two daughters. And these daughters were not as beautiful as Cinderella. That's how the story goes. So one day, what happened is that Cinderella's father left for a long journey. He went, long back, people used to travel miles and miles and miles, miles and miles and miles away from home. So Cinderella's father left on a long journey. And when he left on the long journey, then who was left at home? We are talking about a family now. The father is away. Cinderella's mom is not there. And now Cinderella is left with how many people? Three other people. So there were the stepmother, and there was these two other girls, and now living with Cinderella. But the thing is, there were challenges. Cinderella faced some challenges. What happened is that Cinderella, these other two stepsisters, they were two girls, they didn't really like Cinderella because Cinderella was not their blood sister. So they were like, they wanted to shun her away from them, and they just wanted to do their own thing without including Cinderella. And the stepmother as well, oh my dear, the stepmother wasn't welcoming Cinderella. And so they would make Cinderella live in the attic. And attic was like an upper room. She would live there alone. And they would make Cinderella do all the household chores. You can imagine cooking, cleaning. What else would she do? Maybe washing their clothes, maybe fetching water for them, things like that. And but Cinderella was, was such a charming girl. And imagine in the story they say that Cinderella had ended up having some friends, and her friends were like she befriended mice and birds. So the mice and birds, remember it's a fairy tale, would come by the attic, by the window, and they would come there and chip, 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 make some sounds there because they were her friends. She became friendly to mice and birds. So, in that kingdom, those places, they used to be called kingdoms because they were ruled by kings. So, in that kingdom, there was a custom. A custom is like, it's like a way of life. So there was a custom that when a prince in that kingdom was like reached the age of maturity and wanted to look for a princess, the people are the servants of the king would announce that, oh, on such a day, we are going to have a ball. A ball was a dance. We are going to have a ball at the king's palace because the prince is now going to look for a princess. So they would announce to everybody so that everybody would know. And the thing was, after the announcement, the girls or the girls in that place would start to prepare for the ball, because each one would be saying, oh, I think me, I'm going to be chosen by the prince, it's going to be me, it's going to be me. So the girls would prepare for the ball, for the dance, because it was during the dance when the prince would choose the princess. So everyone was preparing. Those two girls, those two stepsisters of Cinderella were preparing their gowns. They are doing their hair, doing their shoes, so that they would look glamorous. Preparing. Maybe they were thinking, oh, the prince would choose us. And when Cinderella overheard about the ball, about the dance, she asked the stepmom, oh, mom, I also wanted to go. I heard there's going to be a ball. I also want to go. But the stepmom said, no, you're not going. It's only my daughters, because they are beautiful. So my daughters are going. One of my daughters, that was the stepmom. One of my daughters is going to be taken by the prince. So Cinderella had no chance to make a gown. Cinderella had no chance to make her hair. Cinderella had no chance to make to find some shoes to wear for the ball. And these two girls prepared, the stepsisters, they prepared their shoes, they prepared their hair, and they were looking beautiful as well, because they had prepared. Then the day of the ball came. The two sisters wore their beautiful clothes, and their mom, the stepmother, also said, "Oh, she will accompany the girls to the ball." And they left. They were going to leave Cinderella in her attic doing all the chores. She had no gown. She had no shoes. She had not prepared her hair. So the day of the ball came about, and Cinderella was left behind. So the two sisters went on to their carriage. And those days they used to travel on horse carriages, according to the fairy. It's a fairy tale. So the mom, the stepmother, and the two girls jumped onto the carriage, and off they went to the palace for the ball. So they went for the palace for the ball. And this one said, very charming. Yeah, I'm sure she was cold. Yeah, she was cold, because they didn't want her to have that luxury, the sisters and the stepmother. So they went off. They galloped off. They went to the palace. And when they got there, they were so happy. They were just standing in the ballroom, waiting for the prince to come. So in the meantime, as the sisters were in the palace with the stepsisters, with the stepmother, as they were in the palace, Cinderella was left at home. And the sisters thought they would be chosen by the prince. So what happened is that as Cinderella was in the attic, a bright light appeared to Cinderella. And this bright light was a fairy. A fairy appeared to Cinderella. And the fairy asked this Cinderella, "Why are you crying? Why are you crying?" And then Cinderella told the fairy that, "Oh, I wanted to go to the ball. We heard that the prince is choosing a prince today. I just wanted to go as well." Then the fairy performed some sort of magic, and she gave Cinderella a beautiful gown. Cinderella found herself wearing a beautiful gown, and then Cinderella found herself wearing a pair of golden shoes, beautiful shoes, and she had her hair done in a very nice way. And then after that, after Cinderella was dressed, then there came a pumpkin, and mice. So the pumpkin turned into a chariot, and the mice, the Cinderella's mice friends, they turned into the riders of the horses to take Cinderella to the palace. So the horse carriage, driven by the mice, because the mice had turned into horses. Imagine, the mice turned into horses. So the mice turned into horses, and the pumpkin turned into carriage. So the horses now were driving Cinderella to the ballroom, to the palace. And off Cinderella went in her beautiful gown. Cinderella was wearing a beautiful gown, and she looked immaculate. She looked so beautiful. So this had happened because the fairy had touched Cinderella's old clothes. So when the fairy touched Cinderella's old clothes, the old clothes turned into a beautiful gown. So Cinderella was transformed into a real beautiful girl. She turned into a beautiful girl, wearing a beautiful gown, wearing beautiful shoes or sandals. Then the fairy told Cinderella that now you can go with the because the mice had turned into horses. So the fairy told Cinderella that now it's your time to go. It's your time to go to the palace and meet and join the dance. The ball, it was called the ballroom dance. And then, but he gave a condition. Cinderella was given a condition. The condition was that Cinderella must come home before the clock strikes midnight. Before the clock strikes 12. So Cinderella had to go to the ball to dance. But before the clock goes like 12 midnight, she should have gone back home before the clock strikes 12. So let's see what happened. So what happened is that Cinderella and the carriage went to the ball, to the dance, and her carriage, they said the carriage looked magnificent. It was beautiful carriage. I've seen some carriages sometime which are really beautiful. So I think Cinderella's one was like golden carriage. So when she got to the dance room, to the ballroom, she went into the ballroom and she saw her sisters just standing there. And when she entered the door, the sisters could not even recognize it. They thought, oh, it was just another girl. They didn't recognize her. Because in no way were they to think that Cinderella would turn up for the ball. So the sisters didn't, as she entered the ballroom, as Cinderella entered the ballroom, the sisters were just standing there waiting for the prince to come into the ballroom. They saw Cinderella and they said, oh, there's a beautiful girl there. But they didn't recognize that it was their stepsister, Cinderella. They didn't recognize him. Then they were just, and also the stepmother was there. The stepsisters and the stepmother could not recognize Cinderella because she was transformed. They thought, oh, it was just another girl from from the place. Then the time came now for the prince to come into the ballroom. So as the prince came into the ballroom, all the girls were lined, you just imagine they were lined by the entrance, and the prince is coming through the door to try and choose his first dance, because whoever maybe was going to be chosen as the first dance by the prince would then become the princess. So the prince came in, and immediately when the prince saw the girls, and immediately his eyes went on to Cinderella, you know, and the prince stopped in front of Cinderella and was just like admiring Cinderella and asked Cinderella for a dance. So from there, the prince and Cinderella started dancing and dancing the night away. And because what they did was, if the prince chooses one girl, then that girl would just be the one to dance with the princess, with the prince. So they would just dance the night away, dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing. You know, ballroom dance. We have seen ballroom dance like the one they show nowadays on TV. You know, it's really spectacular how the people of long ago, especially the royals, how they danced, it was beautiful. Oh, we have Sister Winnie. Hello, Sister Winnie. Nice to have you here. And greetings, Sister Winnie saying, season greetings, everyone. Thank you for coming in. I think most people are busy, doing the Christmas touch-ups, the last Christmas touch-ups. And Suzanne is saying, hi, Sister Winnie. Lovely to have you, Sister Winnie. I'm narrating the story of Cinderella because my topic today was family, family dynamic. They call them family dynamics, But we're just chatting about, family values and family dynamics. So here we are saying the prince and Cinderella started dancing and dancing and dancing. They danced the night away, I imagine. All night they were dancing and dancing and dancing. Then, when it was like the clock, you remember, the fairy had told Cinderella that come home before the clock strikes 12. That was the condition. She should have gone home, like, let's say 12 midnight. She should have gone maybe by home before 12, midnight. That was the arrangement. But as they were dancing and dancing, fortunately there was like a clock by the wall. And then Cinderella then remembered, oh, I need to go before the clock strikes midnight. So she had to, when it was nearly, getting towards that time, Cinderella had nearly forgotten about the clock, striking midnight, because she was also enjoying the dancing and dancing and dancing. Then she saw this big clock and then remembered what the fairy had said. And the fairy had said, you must be home before the clock strikes 12. So Cinderella, because she wants to, there was no way she wouldn't obey the fairy. The fairy was the one who had given her the beautiful dress, the horse carriage, and the mice, turning the mice into like, the horse riders. So Cinderella remembered that what the fairy had said, that she should be home before clock strikes 12. Then she started to run down the stairs. The ballroom was like upstairs. So as she was running down the stairs from the ballroom, then one of the shoe, one of her shoe just was caught up on the staircase. And then she had no chance of retrieving the shoe. She just kept on going and going. Then she went out of the ballroom and then left her shoe by the staircase. She left her shoe there by the staircase, and she just said she had to go home. She just started running. And then she went on to the house carriage. They were waiting for him. Her friends, her mice friends who had turned into the rose, the horse, the carriage, riders. and the carriage was still there. Then she went back home, just before the clock strikes midnight. Then what happened is that as Cinderella was running down, the prince was surprised. Oh, why is the girl run? Why is the girl running? You know, why is she running? And the prince was wondering what was happening. Then, as the prince was wondering what was happening, he tried to follow up Cinderella. Only what he could find was the shoe on the staircase. So the prince picked the shoe, and then she knew that is Cinderella's shoe because she has just gone down the stairs and left her shoe. So the prince picked the shoe. Then Cinderella went home with only one shoe, and that means the other shoe had remained with the prince because the prince didn't want to lose. She just wanted to see, to find Cinderella again. So what happened is that Cinderella got home, and when Cinderella got home, the fairy did again the reverse. The fairy reversed everything. So Cinderella then went into her attic and started to do her normal chores, and she went back to her normal clothes. She no longer was wearing the beautiful shoe and the beautiful gown. All that had gone. Zizwani said her legs were hurt if she was barefoot. Yeah, you never know. But remember, she only ran with one shoe. But when she went out of the ballroom, she climbed into the chariot, into the carriage. So I think she ran just a little distance. And then she went into the carriage and then went back home. So the other thing which happened now, after Cinderella, imagine the prince is holding the shoe. Cinderella has gone home and she has been turned back to her normal clothes, the normal, like, tattered clothes, the clothes which are not beautiful, and maybe maybe she doesn't even have shoes, when she went back home. So what happened is the prince was determined to find Cinderella. So the prince told his men, his soldiers, his men, they said, you men, go and find the owner of this shoe because it's only one shoe. What you have to do is to move from door to door. Go and move from door to door in this kingdom until you find this girl. So what you have to do is when you go to a house, you should tell all the girls to come out of the house and try to fit them this shoe. And if anyone fits this shoe, then bring that girl to the palace. So this is what happened. The prince's men went out from house to house, trying the girls one shoe. It was only one shoe they had. So they were trying every girl one shoe, Then after some time, they thought, they had finished the village people. But they realized that there was a house somewhere, like a house behind some bushes, some other part of the village. So they said, we thought we had finished the houses, We have tried all these girls in these houses, in these homesteads, but none of them fit the shoe. But there's that house over there. They discovered, there's a house there behind those bushes or those trees. There's another house. Then they said, before we go back to the palace, let's go and see who is living there. So they went to they went to that house, Cinderella's father's house. They went there. Then when they got there, they were surprised. The king's people were surprised. They saw, there are two girls there. There's their mother there. Maybe they asked, why is the father here? Then maybe the stepmother said, my husband went on a long journey. He's not here. Then they said, these are only the girls here. Do you have only these two girls here? Then the stepmother, because she was like cruel, those are family dynamics. She said, "Oh, it's only my daughters here. There's no other one here." So the prince's man gave the shoe to one daughter, to one stepdaughter. She tried the shoe. The shoe did not fit. She tried to force the shoe. In the story, they said she was trying to force the shoe. Said, "Oh, let me do this to my leg. I think I'll fit." But the shoe refused to fit her. Oh, we have it. Blessed unique girl. Hello, blessed unique girl. You are welcome to the live stream. Thank you for coming. And Sister Win says, interesting story. Yeah, it is. It is really interesting. Thank you for saying that. So, those two sisters, the step sisters, those two ones, they thought they would, because the prince's men said the prince wanted a girl who will fit this shoe. So they thought, oh, now is their chance. They are going to fit into the shoe, one of them. And the elder one tried. Oh, she was forcing her foot there. The shoe didn't fit. And the younger stepsister tried to force her leg, her foot, I mean, and the foot didn't fit into the shoe. And they were just like, oh, what can we do? We want to go to the prince. We want to go. They wanted to be princesses. And then the mom said, oh, try, let them try again. Maybe the other leg or maybe the other foot. And the mom was so upset because the girls, because the shoe didn't fit the girls. Then the princess men continued to ask, Mom, is there another girl here? Is there another girl here? Are there these only two girls here? And the stepmom said, yeah, these are the only two girls here. We don't have another girl here. Then, all of a sudden, Cinderella was seeing all this in the attic, when she was, she used to just stay in the attic when she was not doing chores. So when she was in her room, she was hearing everything which was going on. And then from nowhere, Cinderella cried out, she cried out. And then when she cried out, her friends came to see her. Do you know who the friends were? The mice came to see her. And the mice came and said, oh, Cinderella, why are you crying? Why are you crying? What's the matter? And then Cinderella said, oh, I want to go down there where those men from the palace are. Then, but because the stepmother had locked the door, there was no key. But the stepmom used to keep Cinderella's door keys on her apron. She would just tie the key on her apron. So what happened is that one of the mouse ran down, the mouse ran down to the stepmother, and the mouse saw the key dangling on the stepmother's skirt or apron. Then the mouse went there and grabbed the key. And the mouse, and the stepmom didn't even notice because she was busy like talking to the men from the palace. And the mouse went and grabbed the key, and the mouse ran up to Cinderella's room and opened the door for Cinderella. Then Cinderella, came out of the attic and then went down to where the men was, to the men of the palace was. Then the stepmom, was so surprised to see Cinderella. She was saying, oh, how come Cinderella has come down here? She did not want Cinderella to try the shoes. But the men of the king, the king's men said, we have been ordered that every girl must try this shoe. So the king's men, gave the shoe to Cinderella to try. They gave the shoe to Cinderella to try. So Cinderella tried the shoe, the special shoe. And Cinderella, I think in her mind, she knew that, oh, this is my shoe, the shoe I left by the stairs at the palace. So Cinderella tried the shoes. And the men were surprised. Everyone was surprised. The Two stepsisters were surprised. The stepmom was surprised. The men from the palace were surprised. Everyone was just looking at her as she was, as she tried the shoe and the shoe fit her. Then, and then the men from the palace said, "Oh, are you the owner of the shoe?" They started asking her because the shoe fit Cinderella, with no doubt. So Cinderella nodded and said, "Yes, yes, 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 I am the owner of the shoe." So the other girls became so furious, and even the stepmother was shocked and was so furious. And what happened next did shock them more. So Cinderella, the men from the palace said, "Oh, that's the girl. That's the girl we are looking for." So they took Cinderella into the carriage with that golden shoe of hers, and they just took her away. They went with Cinderella to the castle. And when Cinderella arrived at the castle, the prince knew that that was the girl. I remember her. That was the girl whom I danced with. That is the girl who left her shoe by the stairs. And that is the girl I am going to marry. So that came as a shock to the stepsisters and the stepmother. And they were surprised to hear that Cinderella was the one to get married to the prince. Then that actually happened. The prince and Cinderella got married. And what happened next will shock you. What happened is that they lived happily ever after. So that's the story of Cinderella with some family dynamics happening there. It's quite it's a children's sort of story. But if we these fairy tales of long back, they were like compiled in such a way that we even as adults, when we recall them, when we hear these stories, or when we watch them on television, sometimes they have like some sort of impact on us, as well. So that's the story of Cinderella. It's only about emphasizing the importance of a family as a unit. So if these people were like not jealous of Cinderella, maybe one of them, maybe might have been. Oh, let me charge the phone. I just want to charge the phone. Oh, it's running out of battery. I need to change the environment. I just want to charge the phone. Yeah, it's because of the battery. Let me finish off. It was running out of charge. This is what he said. She even started looking beautiful. Yeah, that's true. And blessed unique girl is giving us some love and some support. Thank you so much. I had to change position because the phone ran out of battery. So we are saying that family dynamics. The story of Cinderella is about family dynamics. Family dynamics in that the stepsisters and stepmother had some issues. They had some issues with Cinderella, So, in the story of Cinderella, we can say the family dynamics which were displayed in there were like cruelty. Cruelty is when other people in the family didn't like Cinderella to participate in the ball dance. And the other thing which is displayed in the story, it's that which you call like the stepmother just wanted Cinderella to work, to do the household chores, and not, getting free to do what other girls were doing. So it was a sort of like mistreating. They were like mistreating Cinderella. So that's it. Sometimes that thing can happen, when we talk about family dynamics. And the other thing is hostility. Hostility. No, you are not going to the ball dance. You have to stay home, and you have to do the chores. And that is like showing some sort of hostility in that. There's some form of hostility in that. And the other thing is um, to have like what we call vain. Vain. It's like you like you lose hope. When you are in vain, something is in vain. She nearly lost hope in going to the ballroom dance, but because the fairy came to rescue her, and then she managed to go to the ballroom. And like the other thing which is not really good is when another family member does like excessive control. Excessive control. Oh, where are you going? Oh, why are you doing this? Oh, who told you to do this? Why are you wearing that jumper? Oh, put that jumper. you know, so that's what they were doing to Cinderella. They said, oh, have you washed our clothes? Have you cooked dinner? Have you swept the house? You know, we like our family members to help in chores, but we need to do it in a calmer way, a friendly way, like an encouraging way. We don't want a situation where there's excessive control. So that's what they were doing. Those the stepmother and the stepsisters. Oh, don't go to the ballroom. Oh, we are the ones to go to the ballroom. What else did they say? Oh, we are making our clothes. We are making our dresses. You should stay here and clean the house and do the cooking and prepare the next meal, something like that. So excessive control. No excess. I say no to excessive control. Do it moderately. You know. And other one is favoritism. We have sometimes, even maybe me, I'm caught in that sometimes. You favor someone, it's like members of the same family. Then maybe someone is given some favoritism, and others will say, oh, like, for example, maybe you have like a sibling who is like over the seas, and maybe from time to time they send the family members maybe some clothes or some shoes. Maybe someone gets 2 pairs and the other ones gets 1 pair. So they'll feel that, oh, it's favoritism. So it's best to just try to like give like equal opportunities, share the things equally. So no, so all those things are to do with family dynamics. I love the story of Cinderella. I never knew that a fairy tale would a fairy tale would bring all those family dynamics. A fairy tale would just remind us that sometimes we need um, to try and, you know, and have this family, family unit, like in intact, and where there is harmony, like no favoritism, there's harmony, there's good communication, and yeah, we treat each other with empathy, we treat each other with kindness, and that makes the family vibrant, because our wish is just to have a vibrant family where everyone else takes part in building the family. Yeah, but of course the bottom line is that there are always challenges. Yeah, there are always challenges, and when challenges are there, maybe it's best to try and find out how best we can go, we can try and go around the challenges. It's like trying to find solutions to problems. That's what we mean by going around the challenges. So I hope you have really enjoyed this story. So all we are looking for is good relationship, health communication within a family, mutual respect within a family. A nurturing family is a family which is healthy. It's like nurturing a baby. A good environment, trust, love, humor. You must be, when you get together, have a laugh, and joy and supporting each other. So I just want to thank all those people who managed to come to the live stream, and I'm really grateful. When I read your name, it's a way of thanking you. So we had Zizwani Kapea and blessed unique girl. And unique girl had said, "Hello, Sam." And Zizwani said, "Very nice story. That is why I have stayed for a long time." Oh, you did. Thank you so much. Uh, and then we had Summit Podcast. Thank you for coming. And we had Sister Winnie. Sister Winnie, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it as well. Sister Winnie, then, and who else was here? 22 BRXT MWNS was here. We had Maya Fahad, cute. Oh, Maya, I didn't greet you. Sorry for that, Maya. And we also had Maya, I didn't greet you. Thank you for coming, Maya. And we are just checking to see who else was here, just to give our thanks, We had O2 Blocks. O2 Blocks was here. Thanks for being in the live stream. Emily was here as well. Emily T was here to listen to the story of Cinderella. Oh, and Manasa Kapea was here as well. That's awesome. Yasmin came to support, and Gloris was here. Gloris Adeline, and Gosabimana, yes, and Joswin, and Zahara Akbari. Thank you, guys. Archie Abbots was here to support Mary Z Easy Recipes. Callum Bird. Thank you, Callum, for coming over. Gabby was here as well. Gabby said she likes watching Christmas movies. Oh, just like me. Yeah. Thank you, guys. We'll meet again in another session. Possibly, and most likely tomorrow. I'll be here again. Thanks all. Nice seeing you here.